House 4, House of the Devil, me child's broken dark child, Magus Pucus, second dark, reference fourth child. Please listen to the recording as ordained by God as the appropriate form of modern translation. Please see this book at the end of this writing, this actual book. This book is missing a subset from Tribe 4 that is not on any further audio recordings. Translator's note: recording was made at the time of the finding of the plates by 12 individuals that were then in turn recorded by me for this document's creation. Differing voices were used to denote speaker and paragraph. An algorithm was used to count letters in the text. These aberrations that appeared in that text are at prime intervals, leaving this text as it now reads with suspected the corrections of spelling found in parentheses. All red text throughout this book was removed by the Church of the Lamb under the authority of the Church of the Moon, Catholic Papacy, and Mormon Prophecy, respectively, and in cahoots. Book may be black ink only. This occurred in 1995 when the Church of Nephi's prophets, prophet the Church of the Moon, made a clandestine decree amongst the quorum of the 12 that these plates that had been found originally in 1922 by a man named Howard Carter were not interpretable as of yet and should be hidden in different time capsules, so that when 2022 came about, the first section would be looked at afresh and an attempt to be translated would be performed. If they failed at that time, they would save the data, and when, in 2035, another team would take the first data and attempt to decipher both the first and the second sections of the plates. They were successful. If they were successful, then they would collect the remaining plates and complete the translation. If they failed, then the second team and a new team would attempt another translation session in April of 2038. If they could not be deciphered at that point, then the current church president would decide to allow all translation attempts to become a part of public record. The prophets of the 20th century, post-1930, were always a bit uncertain whether these secret plates would sabotage the current virtues of the Mormon religion. Because of this fear, Gordon B. Hinckley did decide that if a quick sabotage of the Church of the Moon was to be disturbed too soon, that perhaps the lagging translation attempts would both safeguard the L.D.S. culture from whiplash. It would allow an acceptable level of cynicism to take place before the truths of this and these documents would be harmfully unleashed upon the Mormon zealots. The cynicism would allow an integration process to occur in the minds of a single generation of Latter-day Saints without upset or conflict. So the quorum did decide to scale and divide the plates twice, and then to hide them in mountainous locations. So during burial in 1995 by epistemology professor Sean Everhart and Episcopal pastor Dustin Smith, who after Christie's explosions would be laughing hysterically, and often below Mount Balance Rock in Price, Utah, a very curious thing was happening. A man by the name of William Skaggs, who had faked his own death in 1978 to avoid American Technological Inventions Corp., aka Mormon Complex, from identifying him for reasons he recited as a right that an entity, not another person, took from my honored grandfather, was quashed. And each family, by the honor of Mormonism, must uphold their perfected family's honor. For my family's honor, I am seeking Carter's plates. Did follow them and map the locations of the two buried plate sets. So in 1984, William attempted to find the third plate set but was not successful. He later decided that he would let his grandson Michael take up this search after enticing young Michael about the beauty and wonder that this prospective treasure might bring. And William decided not to give Michael the maps until he had completed his degrees, and William required that his grandson gather a degree in linguistics and another degree that could have been archaeology. Now, Michael completed these two degrees, whereby the authority of William Skaggs' estate did grant him the box containing the maps, and Michael brought along Travis Fail, as well as 10 other people, as his grandfather requested, and Travis was ordained and baptized as the translator of the document. Michael's voice is recorded on the dospook audio disc by Travis Fail, the translator. The first plate that was found and interpreted was about Tribe 5, the council, which is not secret but not known to the world at large, has gathered, and the meetings have come to its beginning. Now, Ezekiel did promote the first words of the meeting, calling to order the council with a heightened voice that did not alarm a single ear. Now, Ezekiel spoke, "We are here to discuss the document that has been found. We are here to discuss the house that visits the council and proclaims that it is not of use. We are here to discuss the ensuing war that shall occur between the house and our council of houses, or the failure of this council to convene with all houses of our Lord. Gentlemen, let us begin." And then Tribe 4, the tribe of defense from Nephi's advancements. Spoken by the words of the Feral Corky in Salt Lake City, Utah, 1998, who's a modern dospook. "You are the first to go with thy soil, and Pook will be your phantom guide, as she is the krypton phenomenon of our heaven's frequencies. You intersect well with populations once you no longer concern yourself with comparisons. House of Satori, House 5. An ordinary man speaks from his neighbor's house that which has been offended and desires to maintain the hiding and seeking motion ordained to him by the priest Melchizedek, from whom he takes sincere words about style and life, that time that is afoot. Torin speaks robustly to the council concerning language and eternity, and counseling from barren houses whose dawning is far too from. Then he speaks about Nephi's prophets, saints, and strengths. Isn't our reality the e-maxim of our language, and is not that language but a disjointed particle in a sky that, when in movement and consistency, oblige our better minds to find enough about the movement to ascertain a geometry of a joint? This supplies support so that wings don't falter. Is it ever only quaint today? Is it okay to say the threat of the smart inner outers is now apparent, and not spawned from Satan, nor from that which is wicked, nor the imperious house of the moon? The Philistine, the philosopher's voice, all logical thoughts make sure to tie logic into reason without anyone seeing. Thy Satan shall not teach you all the ways to tear logic into reason, such as an open interpreted relief, form, and interpretational might. This is the work of a man and a woman. One thing not to fear are the fights among Nephites, for although this is not good business, as this yields empathy of the struggles that Nephi's prophets' church have waned against those good souls immediately outside of the church, less broad in spirit are the Nephites, for they are both on the straight path and of a circumcised heart. Social infirmaries are common now against the vain and the zealots.